I'm Srini, host and founder of the Unmistakable Creative Podcast, and in this video, I'm going to go over how to use templates and tags inside of Mem to optimize your workflow. I'll show you how you can use templates and tags for notes, for projects, and repetitive tasks. But before we get into the video, make sure you check out our free course on how to take better book notes, which will help you build a library of wisdom and knowledge that's always at your fingertips, easy to retrieve, helps you remember what you learn, and maximize your output. Just click on the link in the description below. When you design your personal workflow, you want to design it in such a way that it can scale. What do I mean by that? Well, when Victor Chang, the author of the book Extreme Revenue Growth, goes into organizations, one of the first things he has them do is document the processes for all the tasks they have to complete. And another thing he asks them is if this process could pass what he calls the 10x test, meaning that if the organization grew 10 times overnight, would those processes still work? Meaning they had 10 times the number of employees or 10 times the number of customers. Now, when it comes to personal workflow design, what you want to think about when it comes to scale is, would this process that you use inside of Mem work if you had 10 times the number of ideas, 10 times the number of notes, and would you be able to easily retrieve all of those notes, those projects, and those tasks related to those projects? The key to workflow design inside of Mem is to have standard templates for all the various types of notes that you'll put inside of Mem. So when you're taking smart notes, which I've talked about in a previous video, you're going to have three main types of notes, which are your literature notes, your permanent notes, and your reference notes. And by using flows inside of Mem, you can save yourself a ton of time because the templates for those flows will automatically populate each Mem with the right tags for that category. So for example, anytime I create a literature note, it automatically gets populated with the tag literature notes. And that way I don't have to spend time typing out the tag. Anytime I add a new book note, it automatically gets tagged with the tag book notes just by creating these templates. Another way you can streamline your workflow inside of Mem is to create templates for repetitive tasks. Take something like publishing a blog post, for example. The content might change, but the format, and the structure, and the process of publishing it rarely do. And all you have to do is use a template, and that way you have all the additional tasks in addition to the writing itself right there that basically streamline the entire process of doing the work and then actually completing all the tasks that lead from the writing to a published draft. You can also do the same thing for projects, something I've talked about in the previous video on how to use tags, where you can just create a new project template, and that way all the things that need to go in a particular project are right there every single time without having to write all of this stuff over and over again. And then one last way that you can use templates to streamline your workflow is by using mental models and creating templates for mental models. So all the time we come across all sorts of things like models about decision making, models about investing, all that kind of stuff. And we can create templates inside of Mem to use those models in our own thinking. So for example, a common decision making template is this whole idea of you have a decision, you have a desired outcome, and the probability of the desired outcome. And by using a simple template, we can actually use that framework over and over again for anything. So for example, let's say the decision is buy an online course. Your desired outcome is make my money back. And then you have a probability of achieving that outcome. And you can do this with all sorts of templates for mental models that you come across on the internet and the books that you read and so much more. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments.